Anyway, guys, let's get it on. Very excited to be bringing you guys coverage of week 34 of the High Roller Super Millions. First hand is already a tricky one here, right, for bencb, because obviously every chip matters. And if it just gets folded to him, you kind of got to defend with Queen 10 offsuit, don't you?
With 20 big blinds, you're still going to make the defense because, it's 20 big blinds, not a lot, but it's still a reasonable amount to get it in by the river with this kind of stack to pot ratio. So he's got top pair, makes the call, and you know what? You might be right. bencb just needs a little bit of a double up. His king jack is gonna keep firing.
There are aces and nines in the deck, Nanonoko. There are aces and nines in this deck. But actually, I would like to see bencb raise here, because this board is obviously pretty scary. Like, I know his hand is very good, and on one hand, you could say you want to get max value, but I don't think I would hate a raise here. What about you?
I don't hate it either, but let's see what the master thinks. He thinks his opponent has got enough draws that he's just going to continue firing off. I think actually maybe call is the right play, because we've seen Novak in the pre-show blasting off. I don't see why you wouldn't just let him try to blast off here again.
Well, I just because I'd be afraid first hand of the night that he would actually get there, you know? And I think maybe we could get him to fold. But obviously, if you have top two pair, you do want to get value. Let's see if Andrei Novak knows how to give up, or if he will just keep on sending it with King Jack, which seems to be his favorite hand.
Look, if I saw the pre-show and I saw bencb fold 2 10s in that spot, I might just continue going for it. He is going to go for it, and bencb first hand. Oh my
Whoa, Noko, welcome to our final table tonight. You know, one thing I want to mention, by the way, is that before we started our final table betting segment, there were $67,000 in bets placed. After we were done, it went up to $72,000 and 735 bettors. Do you remember when we introduced this like 7 or 8 weeks ago? It was like 21,000 bets in total. And I was like, hey, Nano, how long until we have 100K of action on the final table betting? And you're like, well, 100K, that's going to take a while. We're getting there, man. 72K tonight on this final table. That's pretty crazy.
It's pretty crazy. And hey, look at this. bencb repopping ace-4 suited in position against Levinskas. There's a lot of ICM pressure right now, right? There's two guys hanging in there. What will Levinskas do if the ace 10? He's got the best hand. I don't know what he's going to do, but he's definitely going to have a read on bencb on whether this is strength or not.
Yeah, I think most of these guys will probably look at Ben as a guy who doesn't get super out of line, right? No, you know.
Well, I mean, bencb can get out of line. He's a very well-rounded player. That's the thing. He's not a big nit, but he can be when he needs to be, right?
It's pretty interesting flop. Both players not flopping a whole lot. The backdoors are alive. I think Levinskas, with that one club on the board, may continue, and that is exactly what he does. Will make a pair of 10s. I don't think he believes the pair of 10s is good, though. We know it is, but that's a very hard call to make for Levinskas, right?
Yeah, definitely the right call. I don't think bencb is going to be able to win this pot. It's just so hard to continue firing here, right? Like, is he really going to... Well, obviously it's not going to work, but I was just going to say it's just too hard of a card to bet. You don't know if you're getting trapped or not. They're going to call a lot on the turn. Levinskas should be value betting this hand himself. Oh, wow, he checks. I'm surprised. Yeah, I personally probably would expect him to check. Continue firing, but will bencb take the bait? There's a chance.
I think if he would have bet big on the turn, it probably would have worked, right? I know that's very hard to do, obviously, with ace.
It would have worked. Right now, though, as played, bencb thinks his opponent has like a queen a lot, I think, but he's just like, you know what, just in case, and good thing he didn't.
This could be a funny hand. Let's see what Mr. Boyka decides to do with King 9.
Definitely a hand worthy of a raise. We'll probably get Stevens to call and see a flop here. Top two pair, middle pair. Wow, he checked that turn. What interesting check, because Bert Stevens probably would have folded the turn. It's actually going to create more value. It's two pair and two pair. This is a disaster for GiraFganger.
It is.
I don't think he's going to lose more than this, though. I think Boyka, was just going to call. But wow. Crazy.
That must be such a confusing hand for Bert Stevens, where he's like, what? You had King 9 there? Like, that's probably one of the last hands that he was putting his opponent on. Uh-oh, this could be bad news for Mr. Petrangelo, or good news, but one of the aces is dead. No, Cole. Maybe Mr. Levinskas could get a big score here.
Yeah, wow, this is bad news for... Wow, Levinskas just calls with the 2 queens. That was... He would have loved to see what his opponent had, because he would have repopped. Wow, he flatted so fast. I'm surprised.
And on the button, too. I'm actually really surprised.
I guess it's... Yeah, you know what it was, honestly? I think it's a little bit of a ICM protection. It's kind of funny, because he's actually out-chipped Petrangelo in this spot. Yeah, very.
He does have the Queen of Diamonds, but that can be a turn card that makes him very happy, right? But I guess we at least...
No, Levinskas feels good about his hand. I guess it's better to check or bet. He's going to check.
I know. For ace-queen versus queens, 2 big stacks. I mean, Levinskas got to try to at least bet once, right?
I just don't see why not. There we go. It seems weird. It does seem weird. Like, why should my opponent betting all of a sudden? I guess he's got a hand like King Queen or something. I don't know. But he makes a call. He was so confused, he just called.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I did enjoy watching it like live in the beginning, and they were actually like very nice to each other. Like, I don't know what people expected when they're like, what do you think, that they're gonna cuss at each other all the time? It's like, but you always knew that there was that potential for things to brew online. The more they would interact with each other, the more they would speak about the same thing, but then have different opinions. I think overall it's been an awesome challenge. It's been very cool to follow.
That would be cool to see. 3 players of an ace. Yeah, I just want to put one last note on that, is that I feel like Daniel feels unsatisfied. Like he needs to beat someone. So that's why I feel like he'll want to challenge someone. Otherwise, he'd just be over with it. But 3 top pairs, top 2 pair. Okay, it's pretty good. Everyone's going to call. He's done. Petrangelo, funny thing, I think he got top 3, was it that one time? I can't remember correctly, but he also came into that final table as a chip leader or a top 2 stack. But this, he couldn't get it done. This one might be a very similar story, right? I feel like he's just been losing pots over and over so far. It's true too. And also, like, you bet and you get called 2 spots, you're like, please no heart, right? Or maybe no random straight that gets there on the Broadway. So does another bet, gets one of the pairs out. Can he continue with ace 10? I don't know. It's a tough spot. Well, you saw how fast Petrangelo voted. He voted instantly, actually. Ace 10, it's a tough spot.
Imagine if he gets
you hate it. You feel like you're supposed to call, but you're supposed to fold. And that's what he does. And wow, you know what he's thinking? He's thinking like, wow, thank God I called, huh? What if Bert Stevens gives him a chance to lose it all by putting it all in? Then I don't know if he can. He does put it all in.
That's so gross for Mr. Borka. I mean, if you call, no, he's going to use my last hand. That means they're calling Nanonoko. I would feel so sad for him. Oh, come on, Borka. Oh, he makes the call. That's devastating. What a brutal river. What an absolutely disgusting, brutal river. I mean, that's fantastic news for Bert Stevens and everyone who put some money on Bert Stevens. But we have pretty much lost our first player, Nanonoko.
He can't lose it all. He can't. He lost it all. And Bert Stevens is just raising ace deuce offsuit next hand under the gun. Clear chip leader. This has been a great beginning of the tournament. I feel like we've had just so many fireworks so far.
On the river. I mean, it is obviously top 2 pair, but there were some hands that would beat him, but I guess it didn't make a lot of sense with the way the hands played out. Is not afraid to make big bets. We saw that earlier with his ace king pre-flop.
So there's a side pot going on as Boyka needs to hopefully find some kind of help on the turn or river card. There's going to be another call. Ace Jack is very good right now, but okay, so it's actually a block bet here from Bert Stevens. Like, you know what? Let's just keep this pot small. So I think that it's going to accomplish what it needs to do, because I don't think Harold's going to go crazy all of a sudden when the queen pairs off. And it's a raise. I think the raise, and he's going, wow, nice quick fold too from the ace deuce.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, obviously a good fold. There's not many things I think you really beat there anymore. And that is going to do it, by the way, for Mr. Alexei Boyka. Unfortunately, another 9th place for him. It started off quite well, won a couple chips, but he is out in 9th place, which does mean that you lost, sir. Makes a pay jump. I think that's kind of what he was here for, at least 1 or 2 of those.
How did he get 9th place again? Because he had a good stack, this Boyka, right? Like,
yep.
Novak's thinking, did I just get a pay jump after playing King Jack offsuit? Yeah. You loser. He's like, yep. I'm a great player. He should have did you suck, right? Because you loser seems like someone who would spam you suck emojis. So like just that screen name alone. Wow, Boyka's out. That was fast.
You know, there is the emoji or emoji meta is a real thing over at GG. And do you think this would be the right moment to use "you suck"? You know, when they're like putting the other guy all in, but they actually have it. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't do that, man. Like, you're going in too deep. Too deep. Like, keep it simple. I like the friendly emoji banter. I don't use "you suck" a whole lot. I mean, that's just like everyone is nice to each other. They run it twice. And if you then want to run it once because you have an 8% lead, you deserve a haha, but that's the only thing.
Let's talk about this hand real fast. So bencb, he defends the big one. He's very ICM aware. Levinskas knows this guy folded 2 10s, right? He watched the pre-show. Can bencb figure this one out? He makes another call. That's a great call there.
Now we're committed though, right? Like obviously Ben is never folding. I think Levinskas has to give up.
Heroic.
But he would never fold though. Ben is never folding anymore. I know he's very ICM aware. I know he's made big folds on the river. He's not folding here anymore.
Put him to the test and let's find out, Levinskas. Let's put him all in. It's a 33% pot. Oh my god.
I think
he does put
him all in.
Wow.
Come on. There's no way Ben folds here.
Is he still shoving against me as a bluff? I know he knows I have a jack. He's wondering, would Levinskas still shove? Like, he folds. Oh my god! I know you're sad to see, but that was a beautiful hand of poker right there.
That was, I mean, pretty epic by Levinskas, but that's pretty sad for Ben. I mean, obviously there's the 4 straight out there, right? But oh no, Ben just lost so many chips.
He lost. So in that hand, he lost about 1 million chips, I believe. Yeah. At least 1 million chips, maybe a little bit more. It's a disaster, right? It's just a disaster. I know, like, I understand.
Oh, no,
King Jack makes the call. Yeah. King Jack just punted. It's over.
King Jack is so definitely the hand of the night so far. We need a jack on the river. Otherwise, our short stack will double up. And that is a save run out for the ace king. That was, I mean, what do you make of that call when like 10 big blinds, King Jack offsuit? Like
more likely to find a call because, you know, it's just so much more polarized. But it was just a tough spot, and 2 million in the pot, and he actually got it done to full top pair. I'll tell you, Levinskas knew his opponent had top pair. There's no way he was targeting like those middling strength hands.
It's a really gross spot because if you're Ben, you're asking yourself, what do I beat? And what did he beat there other than just a stone cold bluff? It felt like he wasn't beating much, but bit painful for bencb, but he's still in it. And he still has 1 million chips. First 3-betting the 9 jack and now just firing away at a monotone spade board.
I'm loving the way Levinskas is playing. You got to be pretty happy to have put some money on him. Bert Stevens gonna lose this pot. I can't imagine him firing on any more into this pot. This is a big chip lead and bluffing it away. Oh, not really. This is not a bluff, but like just playing marginal spots.
Nananoka.
Guys, right? They'll put in that little 3-bet, like, oh, you know, you're trying to outladder these 10 big blind guys and put the pressure on. Levinska is on point today. You loser. Oh, King Jack gonna dust off more chips. No, we know he's gonna shove, but the King Jack he's
King Jack.
They just keep losing.
Do not. I feel like you lost your thing. All right, there we go. Ace 10 offsuit against King Jack offsuit. Let's see if King Jack can finally win a hand tonight or not. That is one hell of a flop. You lost run tilt. Okay, that's nice though. You get the extra outs, then you know you're gonna hit. This is the perfect amount of outs. Yep, there you go. 6 on the river. Makes it straight with the ace-10 offsuit. Nananoka does not want to talk about pocket jacks, jamming, all in, pre-flop, taking some chips
I mean,
down.
come on. That's the easy hand to play. It's not like pocket 4s or, you know, 6s. That one I can play myself. King 3 offsuit, Petrangelo. He's thinking about it. What is he going to make a play of King 3 offsuit, Roddy? Well, this is a... Wow, he's going to 3-bet King 3 offsuit. Ace-Jack obviously is crushing that. bencb knows this play. There's a chance he actually commits this. Wow, he folds again, though. bencb should just sit out like he did. I'm a fan of bencb, but man, they are targeting him hard right now, aren't they?
Yep, they really are. I feel like they're making plays specifically against him that they would only make against him. But Ben had enough. He said, I don't believe it anymore for a split second, and he will jam the ace-jack pre-flop. So he wins back the chips he lost in the previous hand.
He's got 11 big blinds. He's in pretty late-ish position. Yeah, he's going to go for it, and I think Petrangelo should give the action of 2 9s. I think 2 9s is a bit too strong to be folding. Didn't shove full. He looks like he is going to put the re-raise in there, and here we go.
1 9 is that, but 1 ace is that too. Those were folded on the right side of the table. Let's see if the 9s will hold. So far, they do. We need an ace or a 10, an ace-10 or a king for Mr. Novak. I'd kind of like to see Novak stick around. Unfortunately, he gets no help on the river. And that means he will be eliminated in 8th place. And we are down to 7. As you lost, it shows us that he had a queen. All right. Appreciate it.
Oh, we're going to lose him pretty soon because he's got
and
2
Michael
hands.
Zhang. We're losing everyone. We're losing everyone now. Okay, I don't think we're losing Michael Zhang, but we are going to lose you, Losser, probably.
Look, most guys will fold. There's a small chance Michael Zhang. I was going to say there's a chance he just goes for it. But it is going to be... Nah, people are just busting for me. Let me just get out of here. Here we go.
Nope. Seems like he's happy with the top 7 and obviously feels the 10s are too good to fold. So far, the 10s do not have any help. Oh, there we go. Now we need a 10 or a heart on the river. Is the river a 10 or a heart? It is not. It's going to be another ace. Michael Zhang steaming. He's like, damn it, as he shows ace queen to the rest of the table.
Not sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Obviously, 6 players is still quite a bit. Michael Zhang, this man's got to be like, you know what? I want to win a hand before the hour is over.
Oh, make you know call. What? He min-raised it. I don't think he realized what happened. I don't think this is what he wanted to do. I think he thought Levinskas is the big blind or folded. Yeah. And now he's misclicked practically. But, you know, he still got the advantage. But just funny. All sorts of crazy things are happening today.
No, I didn't even see that it was a call. I thought that Levinskas just raised. You know, I expected him to raise because he's been raising all night long. I didn't even see that he limped. And then we had a min raise by Michael Zhang. Doesn't really flop a whole lot. Goes check. The 10 should feel Michael Zhang. Should make him feel a lot better. Might finally win a hand before the hour is over. Let's go, Nananoka. Your pick is on fire.
Yeah, yes, he's not on fire yet. But yeah, 6 guys, but all the big names are still in there. And then we got what would Harold S do, right? But a lot of people put money on what would Harold S do. On the 3 guys that busted so far, I feel like those are the 3 guys we didn't know as much about. So, you know, as we're sad to see him go, especially Novak. I felt like he was going to spice things up.
He also just seemed like a fun player. That King Jack hand against bencb was pretty fun. Levinskas did try to steal this one away, but Michael Zhang is having none of it. Makes the snap call.
He's been aggressive too, but of course he was very fortunate. The 2 jacks against the 2 10s. Blinds are up to 80,000, and we've got a King Jack offsuit somewhere.
And I feel like this is the original King Jack offsuit. You know, the club and the spade. That one has really just filled non-stop over and over again.
I think Ben jams the ace-8. Yeah, I would be shocked he doesn't jam it because while I seem aware, he's very smart on who to jam on, and he likes to jam on those chip leaders, and he's got a lot of experience with Stevens and Levinskas. So you see him jamming on them like extra. Right? Harold. Harold. Bye-bye.
This could be very, very bad news for what would Harold S do. A lot of you guys out there believed in him. bencb may think that he's suited king. Oh no!
My God! Well,
No,
Ben's out.
Ben!
Harold's going to be out too because Harold can't fold this, can he? I don't think so because 2-10s is crushing bencb's range.
Not too many spades are out.
Look, come on. bencb's gone. The question is the 10 going to hit?
Oh my God! And Bert Stevens is like, hallelujah! Here we go, guys. A three-way all-in. King stands and king six suited. Clubs. Oh my goodness. The club? Nope.
No,
that's open-ended straight draw. What the hell? There's so many outs. The Jack six club. bencb wins it with king six. That's absolutely unbelievable.
Vibes. I sent him the negative vibes, and that's the perfect combination to make a guy win with king six suited.
Yeah. And for Bert Stevens, not a whole lot changed, but he did win still some chips in the end there.
That's pretty much a double crown winner in the Super Millions right now. I mean, Michael Zhang, King Deuce.
Wow.
I love this final table so much. And it's like the perfect five guys remaining. Like, I don't know much about Harold, but if I had to eliminate one, it would be Harold, right? Because like these five guys are star-studded and they fire. Can't imagine what the other guys have if you do the math.
You know what's funny? It's just that the other day, as we have King Queen battling it out here with Ace Queen, I don't know what the situation was anymore exactly, but specifically King six suited is what he was talking about in his own stream.
He's putting in big bets out there, putting the maximum pressure, but it doesn't work. That kind of stuff works better on, you know, maybe one of the four guys are out of the tournament, but not these guys. These guys can still sniff out these bluffs. It's too hard to continue firing.
He does kind of give up the check back on the turn. I feel like his Petrangelo would just love to go to showdown with his ace high. Levinskas, does he have it in him? Nope, he does not. So Nick Petrangelo wins a big one, and he gets back to 4.2 million, which I believe there's nothing more fun than playing poker and watching poker at the same time. That's
all right. Let's see. bencb opens the 8-9 of clubs. Petrangelo's ace-5 suited. Very well calculated player. Ace-5 suited is actually one of the hands that I was going to say leans towards the 3-bet. Solver says ace-5 suited is kind of like the most aggressive ace you'll go with.
Wow.
Who gives a crap? You got open into straight flush draw. Beautiful. You picked NCB to win when he was in 8th position. My God, this guy is something happened. I know he doesn't have a made hand yet, but there's no way he loses the spot because the guy's got ace-5. No, I'm just. He's got a straight flush. He's got a straight flush.
You know, when you said there's no way he's gonna lose his hand, I was like, all right, here we go. 3 of spades, 3 of diamonds, run out on the turn and the river. There you go. No, you've done it again. How do you play a straight flush?
I like the check. I think he pretty much never wins the spot. So he might feel he needs to bet. But you know what? He's giving up. So obviously bencb's got a bet now. When he sees 3 checks, he puts his opponent on ace-king a lot. But that's not really going to call a river bet too often. So he's probably going to try to target a 10, I think, or like 2 9s. So that's why he goes for the smaller bet size. And I think that's the right play.
Nick Petrangelo will let it go. bencb takes one down. With, blinds have gone up. So now 50K, 100K. So
2 deuces, ace-10. I think this is a hand to go for it. You got 24 big blinds.
How are we doing with ace-10 offsuit? All right, we're just jamming it. It's a tricky hand to play post-flop, right? Especially out of position. So I kind of like what Michael's saying is going to happen.
Yeah, I doubt it too. But I would love to see it. 2 5s and 2 10s. And ace-4 is the one opening.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like aces.
The question is, do you jam or do you just make it like 700-800K? I think I like this raise better. I think you can invite Bert Stevens to maybe reship on you with like 2 8s, 2 7s or something. And then yeah, this is a fiery final table. Wow, nice flop for the 7-6. It's going to be a little hard for MC Zhang to win the King 10 offsuit. But bencb, very favorable flop for him. Check, check.
The turn doesn't do a lot for Ben, though.
But, wow, okay, that's exactly what he's going to do. Open-ended. It's a weak open-ended, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because you're out of position. I feel like if you're going to continue 7-6 here, you need to go for a check raise. Try to represent that 8. And he does do it, while bencb is on fire.
He's back. He's back. I mean, they abused Ben a little bit in the first hour, but enough is enough. Well played by bencb there. Takes it down. Jack 10 would make a much better straight, and obviously the board is paired. So
the second, the last 30 minutes has been bencb being just crazy ever since that king 6 suited. I love it.
Ace 5 with the limp. Not a whole lot going.
Keeping it interesting, and
as we have this tiny pot unfolding, I'm gonna let all of you guys know. As we do have.
Who cares about the free roll you're about to talk about? Like, look at this pot. Well, he's folded incorrectly a lot so far, but I think that starts to change over time. He makes the correct call.
Wow, man, Ben is on fire. You're right. You said he was on fire before. I was like, well,
continue, but that's the beauty of overbets. They make your opponent second guess themselves a little bit, and they tend to shy away against the overbets a little bit more because just in case.
I feel like a Levinskas blow up is coming. I don't know, like, he was on a roll. He was winning pot after pot, and I have the feeling that we are about to witness a man blow up because it's that ice cube. It does things to people.
This is the hand, right? Like I was gonna say, he's
well
blow up or win up because he just trips.
Pocket fours always make a set. Sometimes you don't get a set, you get trips instead, but it's still pretty good. Bert Stevens is gonna continue betting. Would you say that the right thing to do here is always just call? You don't want to obviously scare your opponent.
The reason, yes, and the reason I say that, especially in this lineup, is the big blinds, they play really polarized. So like big pairs, obviously big cards, but big cards wouldn't want to call check raise too often on this flop. Or they got some trash, right? Like the queen, like the 7, I don't know, 8 deuce offsuit, some random hand. So you don't want to blow those hands off. They're going to fire away. But at this point,
check on the turn. You bet now.
I would bet now because if my opponent was going to fire, he would have kept firing on a turn. So it seems like his opponent has an ace high or like a 7 or like a 2 6s or something. Don't let them get away with checking back because those hands will always check back that river. And he might pay off this with his ace jack.
That's such a big bet, though. I think that's a little bit greedy.
But look, Levinskas bets bigs with bluffs. So for him, it's okay. For other guys, maybe not. Bert Stevens, I think he's going to call it, to be honest. I just really do. He beats a lot of draws, right? 5, 6, all those little straight draws, those flush draws. I don't know. What do you think?
I think he's going to fold. I think it's a little too big. That's a proper bet, man. Like, we just got really excited over a 400k pot. And this is a 983,000 chip bet on the river. And it's like,
yeah. But he's going to call, isn't he?
I don't think he's going to call. Everyone wants to be a hero, but I think at this point, those million chips are very, very important.
Yeah, but first, he does fold.
He's so good, man. He's actually, girafganger is. I
think a lot of guys fold to a 3-bet, but Levinskas actually been a little bit feistier. So there's a chance he might steal flop when the Petrangelo comes along, but never mind. Wow. Never mind. Listen, whatever I just said, don't worry about it because Bert Stevens is 3-bet the ace 3 offsuit.
And then it's just going to go fold. Kind of a shame. Now Levinskas is looking at Bert Stevens.
Got you a little sad. Again, chip lead can't hold on to the chip lead, and the top 3 are so close. Even the 4th place guy is very close. Just Zhang's on the bottom. 2 5s makes the call, and out flopped yet.
Levinskas is not a believer and will at least call once, but
A6 is one of the hands on a turn where you either bet the turn, check back river, or you check the turn and pick off a lot of river cards. He's going to go for the check play. I think Levinskas actually fires the 2 5s, and you can see his thing. Oh, he does check. We can see that he was thinking about turning his hand into a bluff there. It's a tough value bet to make. He's going to go for a small bet, hoping his opponent has like a king jack, a queen jack. But nothing happened, but
everyone has a 7. 7 8, 7 4, and 7 5. 7 5 definitely a hand you want to at least see the flop with.
Yeah, let's see that flop's a straight flushy type hand. You flop a little straight draw, but Levinskas got A marginal piece, but enough to continue somewhere. But type of hand where either you bet small or you check back the flop.
I think betting is okay because Michael Zhang has always been very. Oh my goodness! Oh.
It checks again with the nut straight. I think Levinskas might want to consider firing though. There's a lot of overcards, and they're just going to check forward a lot. He knows his opponent could have a lot of. He's going for a small check raise. I think he's like, I can't let these two spades just get a cheap turn, a cheap river card. You know what I mean? Sometimes the little small raise, it just debates you into making mistakes. I'll tell you. It does bait. Oh wow. My God. Rewarded.
Wow. Michael Zhang is so disgusted at this point.
Jesus Christ.
These are hands that are very tilting. This is like way more tilting than just losing a regular coin flip. He's going for the meme bet on the river, the 420. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, the meme bet. That's a perfect way to describe that one. Well, Levinskas is going to jam, and here we go. Call.
When you get snap called like that, do you think there is a split second that Levinskas, his heart skips a beat and it's like, it could be 7-9 if somebody calls in 0.1 second? Are you worried?
Oh, for sure.
That would be super gross.
I think this is as even of the. Look at these chip stacks. They were so even now. Levinskas, I think, would jam this one. Yeah, 35 big blinds, ace queen. Out of position too, which is not lovely. To pre-flop and just shove it in. Especially, he just called and it's the blow. You said Levinskas blow up happening because slowly he's getting a little bit. I'm surprised he didn't jam, to be honest. Especially because Bert Stevens has been playing some garbage.
And then I feel like hands like ace queen are too good to just see flops with and then get out flop. But he does have the nut flush draw on the turn, and obviously. Still the aces, so plenty of outs for Levinskas. But this is the biggest spot we've had this hour, I believe. Not counting the chop pot.
Oh my God.
Diamonds, Levinskas. This is like kind of funny, right? Because then it's 4 to a straight flush. It's like, okay, you still feel really good with the ace high flush, but it's a bit scary.
Yeah, well, he... bencb's turn to try to pick up some blinds, but I think he'll get some action from 5-4 suited unless Levinskas wants to go crazy with Jack-10 offsuit. And you never like to see the little tank, right? Because it always means a 3-bet is coming. Okay, he folds. He wanted to. Nice flop for 5-4 suited, huh?
You don't get to say that very often. How often do you get to say that? There you go. That's a 6 of clubs on the turn. A dream card for Bert Stevens. And bencb is going to have to slow down his roll. He obviously knows that this board is a lot better for the small blind than it is for...
It was funny. Bert Stevens here, he's going to go for the value bet, pot size bet, literally. But does not get it done.
Just targeting ace highs there, I guess, right? Because, I mean, double paired board.
Exactly.
I want to say Arnold Schwarzenegger, but I'm pretty sure he's the Terminator.
Yeah, no worries.
Look at Bert Stevens going here, by the way. Massive 3-bet with the king 5 suited in the small blind. It's tricky, right, with ace 8.
Oh, he just 4-bet the ace 8 suited. Lovely play there, man. Petrangelo does put some extra action. Oh. I got excited. I get excited now of the 2-4s. I can't help. Oh, he folded. He folded. But like, I cannot unsee the 2-4s making a set. Like, your stupid voice pops up in my head. It always makes a set. Oh, really? Oh, really? Trying to make sure he sees a flop because these guys are pretty aggressive. With a 30 big blind stack, you saw earlier the ace 8 suited. It's hard to call a 3-bet with, right? So if ace 9 suited, like, you kind of, if they raise, you can still see a flop.
They don't always make a 4. They make quads, Nanonoko. They make quads. bencb, mate. Oh my God. You know what? I said bencb is my friend, but he's no longer my friend. Pocket 4s always make a set, and if they don't, they make quads. Oh.
You know, I bet you if you were watching bencb stream, like that's all you're doing, you would be going crazy. You'd be seeing all these king 6 suited and all these crazy hands, and you see him fold pocket 4s, and you just insta click X on the top corner. You know, you're just like, this guy's got a flush, a king high flush. You're on tilt, Roddy. I can feel the energy.
Yes, I am. You know, this happened actually a couple of times while I was streaming, and I have like my little speech where I have pocket 4s, and I'm like, pocket 4s always make a set, guys. I'm like, oh, Made quads again. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry I lied to you. Wow, this just went check, 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 by the way. Like, literally nobody wanted to. After that, the pay jumps will start getting real serious. Nick Petrangelo.
You know what Levinskas thinking? Like, I got a real hand in the big blind spot. And he checks the 2 9s, which is funny because we've seen him raise a bunch, right?
Yeah.
And then 2 9s, he's like, let's see a flop and flop a set instead. But it's actually going to work out for him. But I'm very surprised he didn't want to raise the 2 9s there and just commit it.
Obviously, the best possible hand at this point. And Nick Petrangelo does have a queen.
4 fires again. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sorry to interrupt, but like, it makes a lot of sense. He's just trying to like put the pressure on those little middling hands. And now Levinskas is loving life. Of course, he's a tiny bit worried, but then you think about it too. It's like, whatever, if I lose this pot, right? I think he might. The reason is the limp pot. When the big blind checks pre-flop, his hand range is so capped. When he saw his opponent call a big overbet on turn, he felt like his opponent's a little bit strong to continue. I can't believe that Bert Stevens might be the first one out of these 5 guys, considering he should have over 9 million chips, but even had 5.5 at one point. But anyone's game. We saw mczhang was at the bottom before, but now, you know, he's in a solid position. I feel like he's been cruising pretty well. Him and Petrangelo have been the most solid of the guys. Obviously, bencb's been pretty solid too, but he's been playing some wild hands here and there. Queen 9 going for it.
That's gotta feel good.
Yeah, I mean, 2 5s and 2 5s. Beautiful.
This is where it's like, well, I'm going to throw in a big blind and hope I flop a set. Neither of you guys are going to flop a set. But that's good for Michael Zhang, right? Because he is the under-the-gun raiser.
It's almost impossible for him to lose this pot when they have the same pocket pair, because they both have showdown type hand, but the pre-flop aggressor has more likely a chance to win, just trying to like fire here and there. And 2 5s, obviously, there's a lot of overcards, and I think he might just win this flop potentially, unless bencb thinks he's just firing randomly. Yeah, see?
No, I do not have the courage to make plays like that. What are we doing with ace-8 offsuit under the gun? I'm going to fold that one. 10-3 against 10-3. One of them is suited.
You're like, which 10-3 is going to win this one? These guys have been relentless from the big blind. Again, a raise of the same hand. Can you really limp call 10-3 suited pre-flop? It's quite weak. No, it's a limp re-raise.
Oh, that's so good by bencb. That's so good.
Yeah. He's like, I was here before. It's what it's supposed to be like. I do understand what you're saying of c-betting to ace-king. I definitely think that's a fine play. Because you do open up the door for the other guy to steal the pot from you, right? Okay, this got to be a call of ace-8, right? Yeah.
Yep. Wow, Ben makes the call. And at this point, he's like, well, let's hope you don't get any diamonds. There's the 1 diamond. Always a sweat. Just one time. Not today, Bert Stevens.
He did time it pretty good, that emoji. Like, that's like the time you want to do it. So, like, another diamond rolls off a lot of times. Like, emoji game. You know, we haven't had any proper coolers in a while, but I think this is cooler enough for Bert Stevens to get it in.
If Bert Stevens decides to go for it, he is the shortest stack. He will go all in. Nick Petrangelo will make the call, and Bert Stevens needs to find a lot of 9s or an ace or a lot of spades. The flop is really no good. The turn is no good. An ace and an ace only, or Bert Stevens will be eliminated, and that's not an ace. GG. He is out in 5th place, and Nick Petrangelo, the once upon a time chip leader, is now our dominant chip leader as he chips up over 8 million chips. 150k payday for Bert Stevens, but it should have been more, Nananoko. If those kings would have held up, it really should have been a lot more for him.
He's thinking about it. He knows about the 2 4s. He's the only one playing it. He's the only one playing it, Roddy. And the ace queen's gonna call. We got a coin flip coming up.
I think we do. Pocket 4s against ace queen. The 4s always make a set. They don't make a set yet, but they're still the best hand. It needs to be an ace or a queen on the river, or Levinskas is in a lot of trouble. That's not an ace. That's not a queen. GG. Well, not GG yet, but all of a sudden, only 600k left for Levinskas. The 4s will hold. Oh, cool.
Pocket 4s. See, you gotta love Michael's. If you knew Michael Zhang was the only player at this final table to play pocket 4s, you would have put some money on him because he knows.
Levinskas might go for it here, right? But that's not a bad spot, actually. He's got 2 overs.
Got a coin flip. Yeah. But he's up against the death hand.
Is it going to be a set or quads? That's the big question. Well, it's a flush draw and 2 overs. There you go. 5-7 does get the double. 1.1 million. Another Lucas Greenwood magical score story here tonight, Nana. Who knows? Running cold and a bad beat. All right, guys. All right. bencb with ace-10 offsuit on the button. Limps. Okay.
I like
Ben
it,
mixes
actually.
it up a lot, huh?
Just put so much pressure on you pre-flop when the Levinskas is so short. Now, obviously, Levinska had 20, 30 big blinds. He would not be making this limp. But he knows he's got, especially Petrangelo can reshove so light pre-flop, and he's just going to have to fold even hand like ace-10. So it makes a lot of sense. But when you limp, you let your opponent see the flop with jack-deuce offsuit.
Any ace, any queen, any heart. That's a big bet by Ben. This would be a sick move for Nick Petrangelo.
Petrangelo's thinking about the bet sizing. Does this mean
Wow.
This is a nice play? Very nice from Roll. He's just thinking this bigger bet sizing is a little suspicious, but it was wrong.
I'm gonna fold ace deuce. Michael Zhang definitely not folding queen 10 on the button. And Levinskas was hoping for a little more than 7-3 offsuit. He's gonna let this one go. How many big blinds does he have? 5? 6?
Here we go.
Not a bad hand, obviously. A6 suited against 10-8 offsuit. Can A6 hold?
Ooh.
Well,
I feel
so
real
far
bad
it
when that
can.
flop comes.
Yeah, it's a scary flop. But
Ooh,
it's a
oh.
good run out. Hey, 1.6 million. I mean, he's not back yet, Nano, but one more. And then he's kind of back in the mix. Could be it.
All right.
Pocket threes against ace-10.
That's definitely the two hands are going to go for it, I believe. It's a coin flip at best for him, but, it's doing all right here. But let's see. Zhang's going to go for it.
If he can hold with his threes here, he's absolutely back in the mix. 3.3 million in the middle, pocket threes. 3 on the flop? Nope. Oh my god, that's such a scary flop. But he's still good. We need to do 6, 7, 8, 9. No. Oh, there's the ace on the river. That is going to do it for Levinskas. He is eliminated in 4th place. He's closing in on 5 million. Uh-oh, he could be in trouble here, though.
Maybe even do a limp re-raise, but I think general limp call. I don't expect them to fold. Because Zhang's been raising some garbage hands, like King 7 is good enough to see a flop here. Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
flops the king. NCB running hot.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's very nice for King 7. I think Zhang thinks he's got the best hand too. It wouldn't fault me too bad. I think Zhang's gonna bet the turn. I feel like.
Yeah.
He's definitely just gonna call here with King 7. Like, if his opponent has a good hand, he's gonna get in anyways. But if he's got a draw, he wants to let his opponent just bluff it off. So
The
I like
3
the
is a
call.
little bit annoying, right? It doesn't change that much.
It is annoying, not because he can lose the pot, more so that his opponent is less likely to kind of make a play. This is Petrangelo's hand.
Ace queen offsuit for Michael Zhang. Eager to get some of his chips back. I'm supposed to win hands full ring, and now I'm losing small blind against big blind with queens.
Three-handed. Okay, I could see bencb check calling this flop with, and ace queen. It's tough to if say it runs out very dry, like it could still be hard to make a river call, but we'll see what happens. Ace queen. Think
about a 5
bet
of
or
spades.
How about a 6? That's pretty good, right?
Well, when you say that, I can't wait to see the queen roll off on the river. And there you go. And I think we're gonna bring down the house together because you are a very powerful man.
Well, either the house is going down or you're going down. I'll tell you that. It's one of the two. A nice value bet here. And yeah, I don't blame Ben for paying this one off. Only $3,000 on bencb. The guy with the most money on him's got the least amount of betting. The guy with the least amount of money on the line's got the most people betting on him.
Indeed, a funny little dynamic. Ace 4 raising, queen 7 suited makes the call. Nick Petrangelo picks up the flush draw. Ben picks up the gutter ball and obviously still has ace high. Well, he might think he wants to see it, but he doesn't want to see it. He just doesn't know it yet. Ooh, Nick Petrangelo with the raise.
bencb folds this hand. It's not like a great draw, but it's like just good enough to, I think, see a turn card. The price is like very cheap, right?
Wow, he raises.
Re-raise.
Okay.
Interesting play, but he might get blown off his draw here potentially because I don't know what Petrangelo is going to do. He might ship it in. He might call.
I mean, we mentioned the price before. This is a really good price as well. Like you're getting 600K to play for a 3.6 million chip pot. Nick Petrangelo does make the call. Does not improve his hand. What will bencb do? 3.9 million in the bank. 3.6 million in the middle, Nanonoko.
I mean, like bencb is like, how am I in this ridiculous spot? He's going to go for another bet.
Might work.
Wow,
and it does work. Wow, what a big one. That was... King 9 suited, ace queen suited, jack 3 suited, Nanonoko.
Jack 3. That's the one we're going to highlight. The jack 3 of clubs.
Well, it's opening. Take that, Nanonoko.
I think he's 3-bets it. Yeah. I think it's too strong.
Ace queen suited. Michael Zhang will go for the all-in. And Ben will be forced to fold this one. And there you go, Michael Zhang, just blasting through that 10 million chip barrier. But at the end of the day, it's still only a 2-1 lead, so one double up and all the tables have changed.
Yeah, a little too weak in that spot for the stack size. Top pair for Zhang. He's running away with it right now, huh?
Mm-hmm. Also sucks for Queen Jack. Not even a diamond. Come on.
It's a dry board, so like I can see why he's betting here. That would make Petrangelo go nuts, I think.
But I mean, he's got to keep in mind how trappy Zhang has. Oh my goodness, that's a big one. 1.4 million being sent into the middle. Like, I would like to see Michael Zhang just put him all in here. Is that crazy, Nano? That's what I would do.
I don't think it's crazy because the pot is getting quite large with these big bet sizes. He does make the call. It's 13 big blinds remaining. I think at this point, Petrangelo thinks this guy's got a king for sure, or he's got like kind of combo draw. We'll see what Petrangelo's might be like. Well, I'm committed. If I don't go here, I've got 13 big blinds in the short stack. So we'll see.
Nick Petrangelo, he does go for it. And I don't think Michael Zhang is going to fold. It's obviously at this point, you're starting to get a little bit scared. It's like, wow.
But the stack sizes are quite shallow where, blockers aren't as important. Nice call.
Well done. Yeah, that's obviously not an easy call. We're just one pair and the 10 kicker. But when they lose the 8 million chip pot, but then they win 300K, you're like, nice hand, man.
Rip this in. It makes a lot of sense.
A7 of hearts against Jack 9 of hearts. It's going to be hard for either of them to make a flush because bencb also folded 2 hearts. Any jacks or nines? Yes, there is a jack or a 9. Well, okay.
This will be bigger than the Greenwood story for a comeback. Like, this is a very small stack.
And that's hard to do, but... Ace 3, all in.
Wow, he's back.
Yeah, and they might fold. I mean...
Might fold. Yeah, look at this.
1.3 million. Didn't he have like 33K?
100K. He had 110,000. But still, crazy. Do you just go for a queen 5? I don't know. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, gamble. I mean, you only live once. Queen 5, it's pretty... Oh my goodness, he makes a 5. Can he avoid the... No.
Now I feel like it's over.
Yeah. Queen or a 5 on the river. Nope, not today. That's going to be a GG. I bet Ben was shaking, sweating there a little bit. Imagine if he's back to 2.7. It's like, man, that sucks. And ready to continue this heads-up battle. Can bencb make it happen for all the people who are cheering for him over at his Twitch channel? We'll see. A 3-1 chip lead for Michael Zhang at this point, but we have seen way bigger swings than this, Nano, in the heads-up battles.
It's almost 4-1 chip lead for MC Zhang. I'm a fan of bencb, but I did pick Michael Zhang to win it, so I've got a little more bias towards one way. But either player is definitely worthy of being a champion. Both have played solid throughout this final table, and 7-6. Gonna start things up with a nice little pot, probably, unless he gets unlucky. Does not.
Would you go for value here? I guess not.
Well, no, not sure. I think it's reasonable. Definitely go for value. Bang would have folded 6 big blinds too.
Michael obviously has all the chips. He can pile on the aggression.
Now, I think Zhang's got more experience in heads up, but bencb's got more experience with these stack sizes and heads up. He plays spit and goes and these types of things. So with this stack depth, I think bencb's got an edge. But as it gets deeper, MC Zhang's his skill start to show a lot more.
Well, the 10 is good of Michael Zhang.
My value bet it. Yeah. Cash game players are good at value betting, I'll tell you.
Ah, makes the call. And we'll see, that's a big one. Then drops to 3.5 million. Kind of where you hope your opponent just jams into you.
Oh, this is a nice spot for him. Definitely going to get it in all of the chips, no matter what.
Yeah, but I have a feeling that we're going to chop it. A6 suited against ace deuce offsuit. Ben is obviously the favorite, but I think we can chop this. Oh, there's the 6. Well, that's a big one. Well, okay, Ben CB chips up to 7 million. Even makes trip 6s, but who cares? Well, Duffel does make a lot of trips, you know what I'm saying? No. Uh-oh.
There is a chance something crazy happens.
Raising
I think he
queen
should
jack.
Jam this.
He will
nice
jam
play.
it.
There's a chance. He's just like, you know what? You got a little pair, but nice play.
Kind of like that.
In heads up, it doesn't happen as much, but you know, like, because like in the 3 and 4, 5 handed, we saw the big blind just going crazy, right? Especially because they got position. In heads up, when you do that and they call, it just sucks because you're out of position with a pretty much terrible hand that doesn't ever flop anything. So yeah, but 10-9's a nice flop here. But this bet sizing, it's not. I'm not too sure what will happen, but he might still call. Does beat all the draws.
It's gonna be confusing to Michael Zhang, right? Like, what the hell? Why are you checking flop and all of a sudden betting pot on the turn?
Yeah. So he's a very profitable player in this tournament series. And even Ben CB, I think he's only played it around 12 to 14 times. So pretty impressive for both players.
I do feel like often when these guys do finally have a monster score, they'll start playing a little more often. We're like, hey, it's a good tournament to play. Michael Zhang should call here, as he has 2 overs and a gutter ball.
Agree.
Will he turn his hand into a bluff or not? Let's not forget that Ben CB folded pocket fours and would have flopped quads, by the way. We shall not forget. Another overbet. Michael Zhang may think that king high could be good here sometimes.
Oh, for sure. I mean, with this stack def, you know, Ben CB is definitely very confident in his game, especially even in heads up. Like I said, he was primarily a sit-and-go player, so he definitely knows how these stack defs work. It's going to be a funny hand, and already both hit a 3. That's really hard to hit.
Ben does not let it go, though. Just check. It's not just funny that they both had Jack 3. They both had Jack 3 with a diamond and a club. Apparently. I wonder if we're ever raising here. Apparently the answer is no. Ben CB doesn't do a lot of raising pre-flop in heads up, I've noticed.
Yeah. Seems fine. With king rags, you kind of want to just see the flop too. It's like strong enough. It sucks to get blown off of a king high.
I mean, it's not the nuts, but it kind of feels like the nuts.
I
think Michael Zhang is going to have to bet very, very... he's going to get...
Not going to work.
Yeah,
not going to work. I don't think. But yeah.
Ben too good for that sizing. Like, I think if you want to win that hand, you got to bet very big. I think betting that small, 5% of the hands so far.
He's definitely won a lot of the hands, and that's why they're even in chips. 5-4 suit and ace-8. They're playing a lot of small ball lately.
Yep. 5-4 makes the call. Well, you can definitely unsee it now. After a beautiful queen of hearts rolled off on the turn. Michael Zhang does make a pair of 4s.
I think Ben might value bet this one. Yeah, I was going to say, given the action, does seem likely that this kicker is strong enough to value bet. Because king would always bet the turn, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, makes
very
the
well
goal.
Played.
Wow, Ben getting the absolute max value there with his ace-8. Now takes a pretty big lead as he chips up to 13.5 million chips.
My God.
King 8 suited against pocket kings. We have seen kings lose before. Michael Zhang could be steaming a little. He's been losing a lot of hands. Just made a incorrect call.
Ben CB is going to ship this tournament. My God, I can't believe he's got a big chip lead here. It's a big raise, but king 8 suit is not folding.
No, it's not folding.
It's at least calling, man. If he makes a ridiculous play, I was going to say, could be over. He's still got a king 8 suit has got some back doors, though. Like, they might not want to fold this flop.
I don't think we're folding the flop. Oh, ace of diamonds. That is a very scary card for Ben.
of course. But I don't think he's going to fold.
I mean, it'd be YOLO.
I don't think he would jam. He's probably going to be a little bit afraid his opponent has an ace too often, so he does call. But Zhang's not going to shove because I think... I was going to... Yeah. What, is Michael Zhang going to call king high and just end it now? I don't know if that'd be a good play. No. But I was going to say... Tells you, what, 3 or 4 times?
Yeah.
And you got to remember, bencb had less chips. It was Nicholas instead had the massive chip lead every single time.
Hey, if I would ever predict the winning hand, there we go. Jack 10 suited against king 4 offsuit. Can we get clubs? Can we get jacks? Oops, nope. That's not a good flop for Jack 10. That's not a good turn.
Good turn.
We need a jack.
Is it not a good river?
Oh, not a good river. Paint, but it's not a good river. And this means Michael Zhang will chip back.
And big blinds? Because some of the guys I think in the past we've seen fold that spot. So really nice call.
I mean, it's funny as well because I love Jack 10 suited a million times more than I love king 4 offsuit. But in these scenarios with these stacks, you just got to do it. Queen 10 is not going to make the call. What a move by Michael Zhang.
Yeah, that's a 20 big blind move, 5-4 suited. I think he's trying to make a statement about bencb limping a bunch. Would that deter him? I don't know quite yet. But it's funny. They both pair their kicker.
Yeah. A 7 on the turn and it's all over.
The 2 outer. That's hard to do, but still a nice amount of chips going for bencb. Does check raise. Might call. It's a 7-4.
9 of spades. Feisty card. Flush does get there, but neither player has spades, of course. Ben will continue betting 1 million chips. I think Michael Zhang's got to give up. Calling here would be suicide.
Oh, he does call. It's a bit suicidal. Yeah. He's just like, you know what? This bet side's so small. It's pretty hard for Zhang to win this spot, though. He's going to think his hand is good, but it's not.
That's a big one. Michael Zhang got a little bit of momentum after his king 4 beat Jack 10, but he loses.
It's kind of crazy because you haven't been you haven't made that statement like in any of the shows, but you're just like on point on that one. Like I feel like it's gonna come.
In those kind of pots, you know, where if I was paying 600K to play for a pot that's like 2.3, 2.4 million, 6-4 can flop pretty good.
I mean, I don't know if it flopped pretty good. It can flop pretty good. Will it flop good is the real question. Open into straight draw. Yeah, I think so. Or he turns a pair and lets his opponent pick up a straight draw.
One of these moments where you just pray your 5 is good. And it is. As Ben folds, Michael Zhang will not back down. Ben is very tricky because he limps a lot of very weak hands, but then he also limps big ones, and he might just jam this one.
Yeah, it's just king queen suited for 15 big blinds. Well, he limp calls, but hey, it's still going to make him extra money actually because Zhang's going to have to fire.
And Zhang is just blasting away another king on the turn. Will Michael Zhang continue telling this story? No, he's going to slow down. I'd like to see Ben either check or bet very small. He checks. Well, Michael Zhang checks. What do you think Ben is going to bet? Like, bet 1.1.
Yeah, it's definitely a reasonable play. I don't like jamming. Yeah, well, he is going to jam. I don't like jamming. He jams, but...
Chips up to 6.1 mil. A6 suited, though.
I think this is it. Queen 10 against A6 suited.
Good to hear. Queen 10 jams. A6 suited makes the call. Can Ben's hand hold? There's the ace. That's a really good flop. We need to avoid jacks. We need to avoid jacks, 10s, and queens. If the river is a low card, this tournament is over. That is paint. Oh
my God. What is that card? What is that card?
King. It's a king. It's a king. It's a king. bencb has done it. Oh my goodness. Live in front of his audience, being cheered on by thousands of players.